Check it. Alright guys, what is up? I am back for another update for AMC, and this video is a little bit different than my normal technical analysis videos. I do a deep dive in the theory that a market crash, the lack of liquidity, and margin calls could easily cause the AMC short squeeze. I look at all the facts, the fundamental data that AMC has, and compare it to the past and present and show you how this could easily cause a short squeeze in the current market conditions that we are in. So let's go ahead and check out the charts, the facts, and the data and see what we have going on. I am back for another video, and this one's going to be an absolute banger. Why? Because it's going to be jam-packed with information that you need to know. So let's go ahead and check out the charts, the fundamental data, and see what we have going on. So guys, what I'm looking at here on my data and my research is a very interesting theory. I released a video about the market crash potentially causing AMC to squeeze, and I gave you guys historical data and representation to show you how that could actually happen. I'm going to take that theory a little bit further here and dive a little bit deeper and explain what I mean and how a lack of liquidity can easily cause a short squeeze. So I went ahead and looked this up so I could easily put this up here so you guys can visually see it. Low float stocks, but I basically asked, does lack of liquidity cause short squeezes? I already know it does. I already know that lack of liquidity plays into a short squeeze, that the utilization of the float, so the float being utilized to its max potential, and that's what this is kind of explaining about a low stock float. So if the float's locked up or the float's being used a lot and there's not a lot of liquidity, this can easily cause short squeezes. And it can also make it fall in the hard to borrow territory, which AMC I would definitely consider being in the hard to borrow territory, especially with its high cost of borrow rate. So this is how short squeezes can happen when the market dries up, when liquidity dries up, when margin calls start to happen, when banks start to fail, when these dominoes start to fall. This is how the Moass can happen, and this is what I think we are actually witnessing with our own eyes. You have to look at the bigger picture. You can't just look at daily price action on this play, because this play is so much bigger than that. This play is massive, and it is tied into so many different things that you couldn't even imagine. AMC stock is tied into so many different aspects of life. This little crazy movie theater stock, yes, is tied into different things because the way the stock market works, the plumbing of the stock market, the short interest, the way that the short sellers manipulate the stock and the longs and everything, all of those things come together, and this is tied into it because of the hedge funds and how they own everything, that this one little play could literally affect the whole entire world. And I do believe that if you look at the evidence of everything going on with the overall economy and the markets and everything else, you can see that the dominoes are starting to fall and things are coming into place. If we look at the chart for 2008, so if we look at the charts for 2008, this is the chart for 2008 market crash. So when did Volkswagen short squeeze? So if you don't know, we had a short squeeze in another recession, in a market crash before. What short squeeze was that? It was the Volkswagen short squeeze. Volkswagen squeeze in 2008 of October, right in the middle of a huge market crash. If you look exactly when October was on the charts, you can see that it had one of the most big red candles, and if you do it in candle form, it's one of the biggest monthly candles for the down month of October on the 2008 market crash. If you look at the chart, October was one of the most down months, one of the most months where we had the most capitulation in the overall markets, and that is when Volkswagen squeezed. And I think we are in for a similar setup now with AMC, and that is just my personal opinion. This is not financial advice. I am just some guy on the internet don't trust me, do your own research, do your own TA, your own DD. But if you want, you can check out what I got for you right here. And this is what I'm looking at. If you look, we broke down this overall macro downtrend. So this is a macro downtrend supporting downtrend. Okay, we broke out of it, which was extremely bullish. Everyone got really bullish. They started thinking the bear market was over. And I was predicting that we needed to come back down and test this, and then we might come back up and test one of these local highs on one of these highs here. And we didn't even make it up that far. We went up to a higher high on the macro time frame, the micro time frame, the smaller time frame, but on the bigger time frame, we didn't manage to get it, and we went up for a second retest and broke through it. And what did I say was going to happen? If we broke through this line, we were going to see major downside, and that's exactly what is going to happen. We will be retesting this low of $3,491 on the S&P 500. We will be retesting that, and I think once we get below that level, once we see the market start to absolutely capitulate and fall apart, that is when we could see AMC squeeze, when we could see the benefits. If you look, AMC has been holding up extremely well, even though the market is in a terrible position. Even though banks are failing, AMC is in an overall uptrend. And I want you to look at what happened to Volkswagen before it squeezed. It ran up a little bit and then dumped and then pumped up. You guys have to be ready for anything. This thing's going to get extremely volatile. I think what stage we are in right now potentially is the run-up stage. We could have a huge dump before the pump at any moment. This thing can take off. But what we can look for to try to figure out when this is going to happen is levels on the market. Like I said, we need to get below that low of 3,400 or I think it was 3,400. Let me see the exact price right here for you guys. We need to get below the level on the S&P 500 of $3,491 officially before I think we could see actual panic in the market. And I think once we break this level here, we are going to see more major downside in the market, and that is when AMC could potentially start to take off. But you never really know. I'm going to be covering all of the technical analysis to try to figure out when this is going to happen and cover it day by day. But the truth is, no one really knows. But I will do my best to try to figure out when it's going to happen, but I can't give you that answer just now. But if you look at all of the data, everything is still extremely bullish. Look, we are in an uptrend while the market is absolutely dumping. We have all of this data correlating with the market crash, with the banks capitulating, with phase 6. If you don't know anything about that, there was basically a theory by AMC Biggums about the phases of how this would happen. And even before AMC Biggums, when this thing was originally in Reddit, everyone said a market crash was going to cause a squeeze, and we predicted the market crash in Reddit. That community predicted the market crash before it happened. When the bull market was still running in 2021, they predicted this market crash that we're in now, and they said it was going to come, and look, it's here. We said banks were going to fail. Look, it's happening. The dominoes are falling. The pieces are coming together. Liquidity is drying up. A short squeeze is going to occur, and AMC stock is going to have a short squeeze. And I know that because we are still on the threshold security list. We have so many FTDs that it's indicative of naked shorting. There is no doubt there is naked shorting going on in the stock. If you look at the FTDs, and if you look that we are still on the threshold security list, and all the put action and the call options chain, there is naked shorts in here. Okay, there's naked shorts, there's synthetic shares. I should not be able to go on my exchange and buy AMC while it has 100% cost to borrow, and it has almost 100% utilization, and it has FTDs. I shouldn't even be able to get shares. The price should be having price discovery and shooting up right now. And there is so much buying pressure and so much synthetics, so many FTDs, that when this thing pops, it's going to be insane. We had Volkswagen run up to, this is marked in euros, but it hit about 1,000 US dollars. Okay, about 1,000 US dollars Volkswagen hit when it squeezed, and that is a potential for AMC, but even much higher because there's so much manipulation, so much synthetics, and this is on so much of a larger scale that we have never seen anything like this in our lives. And this is not financial advice. I'm not trying to hype you guys up. This is the straight facts. Okay, we had a squeeze in 2008, Volkswagen squeeze. The market is capitulating. The banks are failing. The FTDs are racking up. We are on the threshold security list. We have over 24.47% short interest. Short interest is so high. The legal short interest is insane. This is at almost all-time highs when it was at 25% just a couple weeks ago. That is all-time highs for 2 years that I've been covering the stock. I've seen short interest. That is the highest I have ever seen it. This is absolutely insane. The data is all saying the same thing. A massive short squeeze is on the horizon, and we have to be ready for it. The only thing you can do is buy and wait, and they are going to try to shake you out and manipulate you and make you sell and bore you and just do anything they can to get you out of this play. But I'm telling you guys, we are close. I don't know exactly when this is coming, but I know we are close because I've been watching this thing for 2 years every single day, studying, fact checking, making sure my theories hold water, and they have. And now I am very excited because all of the things that I predicted and all of the things that the Reddit community predicted are now coming to fruition. This is all really happening. Like, making this video, I'm super hyped. I know you guys can tell because this is real. This is real right now, and I think we are in the midst of about to see life-changing wealth off of this stock play. That is just my personal opinion, not financial advice. If we look at the cost to borrow, it's still at over 100%, so that is putting extreme pressure on the shorts. That is making it hard to borrow the stock daily. That's making it harder to start new short positions. It is making it harder for them to control the price. They are losing control. As you guys can see, we are in this uptrend. And I do want to say that I will be dropping a video later today on the technical analysis and my predictions for next week. But this video is mainly focused on the data and the facts of how the market crashed, the lack of liquidity, the banks drying up, the banks failing, how that could all cause the AMC Moass. Looking at all of the data, this is what it's telling me, and I had to put this out there so you guys can see the research behind the videos. So guys, that is what I'm looking at. All right, so Volkswagen, like I said, easily went up to $1,000. It squeezed in what month? It squeezed when we had the absolute most capitulation in the market. So when the market was absolutely dumping the most, that is when we squeezed. And we bottomed about a few months after. So we bottomed, let's see, we bottomed, yeah, so after October we basically bottomed in about November/December. So that's when we actually bottomed. So basically when we were at the absolute lows, but October is especially specific because that is when we had the most capitulation. That is when we had the most selling in 1 month, and then we shortly bottomed a few months after. Volkswagen squeezed October 26th, so it squeezed October. Volkswagen squeezed in October 26, 2008, which correlates with that move, and that is why I'm trying to explain on this video. Also, with the margin calls coming in, it starts to go down, and the amount of stock that a hedge fund holds is decreasing because it's appreciating because the market goes down. That causes margin calls, and that is another reason we could see the short squeeze because of a market crash. So these are all the facts that I'm looking at: the lack of liquidity in the market, the fact that AMC's utilization, the short interest is so high, the FTDs, the threshold security list, the failure to deliver. Everything is saying this is a short squeeze play of massive magnitude, and now all of the dominoes are lining up with the theories that we had. So guys, that is the video. That is what I'm looking at. This is how a market crash will and can cause the AM short squeeze. This is how Volkswagen correlates with that. This is showing you with history, facts, and data, and the charts how AMC can squeeze with a market crash. So hopefully you found the video informative. I know I did. If you did, go ahead and drop a like. Subscribe for more content like this. And remember, you can check me out on Discord, Twitter. They're absolutely free. Ask me questions, whatever the case may be. Check me out there if you want. And as always, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out. Alright guys, that was the video. Hopefully you found it informative. I know I did. If you did, go ahead and drop a like, subscribe for more content like this, and remember, you can check me out on my Twitter, my Discord. They are absolutely free. Ask me questions there. I drop updates and everything else. So hopefully you found the video informative. I know I did. If you did, go ahead and drop a like, subscribe for more content like this, and as always, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out.